Yes, it's Saturday evening, boys and girls, and yes, we did renege on Thursday here. Something came on up. Important, but I'll get back with you here. We'll still do a version of Butch On Sports. I am Simply Butch, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Yes, indeed. Saturday night, we got news for you that you can't get enough of. Again, I am Simply Butch, and thanks for tuning in. Here we go, boys and girls, with our Saturday extravaganza here. Let's start off with the Detroit Tigers. It was a week for Major League Baseball to get themselves together. And many of the teams did just that, including the Detroit Tigers. Now, I'll tell you who they picked up that means anything here. Detroit Tigers, they selected right-hander Reed Garrett from the Texas Rangers in the Major League Phase 5 draft here. Phase 5 means that this player has a great opportunity of making the starting squad. And if the Tigers keep him, they have to keep him for the full year. If they renege on that promise, this guy goes back in the Whopper at the end of the year where another team can pick him up. Garrett's 25 years old. He split 2018 season between AA Frisco and AAA Round Rock for the Texas Rangers organization. He combines 51 relief appearances with a 4-2 record, 21 saves, a 2.40 ERA, and 61 strikeouts. That's pretty good for someone to come in for relief. Tigers need some consistency in that, my remark. Tigers also picked up Jody Mercer for a one-year contract. This is what Al Avila said. One of our priorities this offseason was to sign the shortstop. Jody was a solid addition to our ball club, said the Detroit Tigers Vice President of Baseball Operations and General Manager Al Avila. He's one of the players we targeted ahead into the offseason, and we really draw to the consistency both on the field and at the premium position and also in the clubhouse as a player. A true veteran leader. That's what Al Avila said about those particular situations. Again, he is all open for getting more players on this team that's going to give a hoop and make the team better. Al Avila did say that on Major League Baseball Radio Network. And everybody on the team is open season. I like that. Just can't be sure. Detroit Lions, they have announced that they signed a free agent, and I hope I get this word correctly, Saliso Antufe to the practice squad and released Dante Alexander from the practice squad. Now the Lions today took a traveling day and also probably took a walkthrough in Buffalo as they conclude their preparation for a road match with the Buffalo Bills. And they did not practice in shorts, I'm quite sure, in Buffalo, New York. You know, they didn't. This is a 11 regular season meeting between the two ball clubs. The Lions' fifth time meeting the Bills at New Era Field. The Bills took the most recent contest, 17-14, over the Lions at Ford Field during the 2014 season. So it's been a while they played in regular season. Now, here are the following players for the Detroit Lions this week on the injury report. Wide receiver, Bruce Ellington, hamstring. Defensive lineman, Deshaun Hand, knee. Running back, K'Wan Johnson, knee. Tackle, Rick Wagner, concussion. Defensive back, Charles Washington, hamstring. They did not practice. Linebacker, Trevor Bates, ankle. Fullback, Nick Bellows, ankle. Defensive back, Marcus Cooper, Sr., is back. Tackle, Taylor Deckard, shoulder. Linebacker, Devon Kennard, his hip. And Matthew Stafford, his back. They all participated in limited practice. Now, the game statute is at this. Ellington, Hand, Johnson, Wagner, Washington. They all will not be playing. Bates, Bellows, Cooper Sr., Deckard, Kennard, Stafford, they're all questionable. That means they'll go through the walkthrough and the goodness of trying to prepare themselves for Sunday, and if they look good to the doctors, they will be playing somewhere down the line. somewhere down the line. And by the way, there was action in the NFL today as, yes, the Texans of Houston beat on the New York Jets by a score of 29-22. DeAndre Hopkins went on the nut today for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Texans. A lot of stuff. That's 10 catches for 170 yards and 2 scores. Oh, boy. Browns and, yes, the Broncos are playing now as we speak on Saturday night. We doing this around about in the area 10:30. It was a 10-10 half-line time lead. We'll kind of sneak up on that later on, see if there's any changes in the weather for that particular one. Now, Thursday, by the way, if you missed it, the Chargers win over the Chiefs by 1 point, 29-28. We just took care of Saturday's goodies for you. How about let's talk about Sunday? Yes, Sunday, if we can. If we cannot, who knows? Oh, boy. Here's Sunday's goodies here. The Packers at the Bears. I'm going to pick the Bears because I can. I'm quite sure the Packers will give them a run for their money, but the Bears, their defense looked something special there. Lions at the Bills. Detroit should be winning. That's going to be a tighter game than people expected. I'm going to give the Lions a nudge, but watch out for the Bills in this particular game. The Buccaneers and the Ravens are playing tomorrow. Excuse me, at 1 o'clock. Yes, and I'm going to pick the Ravens because they need the victory very bad. Cardinals at the Falcons there. Cardinals and Falcons, I'm going to pick the Falcons in this particular game here. They need a win just to look halfway decent. Raiders and the Bengals. I would love to pick the Bengals, but the Raiders right now look like a bunch of spoilers here. And since they did fire their general manager this week, Richie McKenzie, there seems to be a new leaf on life, new leadership about to come for the Oakland Raiders. We'll see how this game goes. The Titans at the Giants. This is going to be a close one than more people expected here. It's all depending on the Giants, and they come out to be the Giants of our past where they really did a whole heck of a lot in fooling everybody. But the Titans I'm going to pick in this one. The Dolphins at the Vikings. The Vikings looking very bad here lately here, boys and girls. And, of course, if you're still in the running for the Detroit Lions to kind of maybe sweep out, and Minnesota Vikings and the Packers look like, I don't know, you fill in the blank. The Lions may have a chance to go to the playoffs, and I don't think so. Okay, we'll pick the Dolphins in this one over the Vikings then. Redskins and the Jaguars. Jaguars, the Redskins need a win. I'm going to pick the Redskins in a close one in this one. Dallas Cowboys at the Colts. The Colts are hot as a firecracker, so is the Dallas Cowboys. You can pick them in this one, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys over the Colts. The Seahawks, this is a 4 o'clock game here, 4:05 to be exact. Seahawks at the 49ers, I'm going to pick the Seahawks in this one. 4:25 game, the Patriots at the Steelers. Steelers need a win bad, and I'm going to pick the Steelers over the Patriots under my better judgment here. Yes, indeed. Also, the Eagles and the Rams that night is going to play. That's going to be a thriller. They in Los Angeles. I'm going to pick the Rams over the Eagles. Too bad. Monday, of course, the Saints and the Panthers. Panthers need a victory very bad. It's very hard for me to go against the Panthers in this particular one because they're so close to being in the playoffs, it smells. I'm going to pick the Panthers in this particular game here. I don't know why, but the Panthers over the Saints. And there you have it, boys and girls. All of it wrapped in a bow for you here. The football picks from yours truly, Simply Butch. And hopefully I get some right. The Red Wings yesterday, they recalled Flipper Hornets to from the American Hockey League to join them in Detroit, or in this case, in New York City, Long Island. And because he joined the Red Wings tonight, and he did play. They signed Brian Lashoff to the Griffins. last year I was going to get some season, I do believe. Hornets made the Red Wings training camp. And when one of the 5 players made a debut in Detroit in the opener on October the 4th against the Columbus. But then, since then, they put him up there for some seasoning. And hopefully he's well seasoned because the Red Wings defense needs some help big time. I'm seeing too many pucks going to net when the initial save from Jimmy Howard or the other gentleman in particular watching go for Detroit, and they're not clearing it out. Great example of that with Cromwell the other night, losing the game. Okay, come on. They're tying up a lot of games. They're staying in games. You love that particular one. Of course, tonight they play in, I guess, New York Islanders, and they lose 4-3 in a shootout tonight. I'm just saying, they lose, and they at least get a point. I'm not mad with the Red Wings here. I expect a whole heck of a lot more from them in a positive way, a frame of mind the rest of the season. They do look spunky when they're out there playing. Every game they seem to be in, and I can't complain about that. Speaking of complaining, we have complained for the last 5 games about the Detroit Pistons losing streak here and seem to be pretty doggone bad. But tonight's a different situation as Boston stepped into the arena at Little Caesars and Detroit played some decent basketball for the majority of the game. Blake Griffin scored 27 points. Andre Drummond had 19 points, 20 rebounds, and some blocks, 5 of them. One in the lateral part of the game in the 4th quarter that made a whole heck of a lot of distance over Tatum. And Detroit beat Boston 113-104 and snapped that old losing streak. Celtics, in the meanwhile, had an 8-game winning streak, and they clocked that one tonight as well. So everybody gets to start over here. Detroit also ended his own skid there, again, with 48 minutes of solid effort. I will say 45 and a smidgen, because of a 2-minute area there where the Celtics coming back kind of scared me a little bit in that 4th quarter. I was saying, hopefully the Pistons didn't run out of gas. But they did. They played an outstanding game tonight. Luke Kennard, 4 for 4. 2 3-pointers and 2 of the goodies there for 10 points in the short period of time that he played on the court. More and more confidence given to this young man, and the Piston players get him the ball when he is open and he makes shots like that. He's going to make this team very, very happy. Very happy indeed. Okay, Bullock, he also played tonight from injuries, woes there. He did a significant job. He scored 4 out of 10 from the 3-pointer. The coach wants 40%, and that's fine. But you know what? Also, you can't always hit a 3-pointer. If you feel the juice to step on up and take a 2, and know that's going to go on in, so your percentage of hitting the basket is a little higher. That's where I have a problem with the Pistons. You can't win all of your games on 3-pointers. I'm sorry. The 3-pointer fabulous teams, they're doing over 500 and doing well in that regard. Some finals in some college football concerning Michigan. Eastern Michigan, they played a game today. They lose to Georgia Southern by a score of 23-21. Very exciting game. Eastern Michigan kept it close. They missed a 2-pointer. Their record for the end of the season is 7-6. Georgia Southern now is a nice, cool, comfortable 10-3. And of course, if you didn't know today, Ferris State, they played in the NCAA Division II National Championship game. They lost to Valdosta State by a score of 49-47. Ferris State had an opportunity to tie the score in the late part of the game and didn't get it done. However, let's congratulate Ferris State to go through a proper playoff format in the NCAA 2 division. 20 of our teams shouting out there, doing their thing, playing every single week, and you don't see a doggone bit of boo-hooing. That's the way you do a playoff situation, not this Division One garbage of a bunch of gentlemen and women in a doggone room passing gas and depicting the four teams of their favor. And the other teams go to blazes. I saw some good games today. I watched the North Carolina A&T and the Alcorn game. That was a very enjoyable game. Alcorn played, and then also both teams played so doggone well. And the bad part about the whole situation is people don't get to see these teams a whole heck of a lot. But ESPN made sure that they was on the national network, which was ABC today, and they got some doggone publicity, second to none. Very entertaining game. You got to see real cheerleaders in there, shaking it up, getting all the fans excited. Real cheerleaders, real bands in there playing and getting their sides geeked up. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than this. It was a SWAC against the MEAC conference. And, you know, and there are also, those are Division One teams, by the way. And they'll never get a chance to work for a championship because the championship is so twisted. And they got all these bowls. And they can use some of these bowls in order to use for playoff ratification. Well, I mean, we have Minnesota and some other team for the in Fort Field, I hate to say it, the quick bowl, weight bowl, or whatever it may be. And, you know, wouldn't it be more special if it was they had a playoff game to have some ratifications of two teams that were picked from maybe a conference, maybe like the MEAC or the SWAC, go after it for playoff ratifications to play the next best team coming up? I mean, don't that would make a little bit more sense? Even for the Division II, they got 8 teams that in their conferences get automatic buys, and the rest of them, the teams are picked at large. Come on. This is crazy. And everybody goes, yeah, 29. I'm not going to watch that garbage. I'm going to get ready for New Year's Eve. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm going to do. It's a joke. Major joke. And I leave you with that, boys and girls. I leave you with that. That particular wellow here as time for me to go. Yes, it is. It's time for me to go. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions on this Saturday night, where I have some fun and just getting ready for Christmas slowly. Kind of remind you, on Mondays, of course, I'll be on the air for the game. That starts at 6 o'clock on 95.1, The Eagle. If you not up in the Upper Peninsula to get that, hey, you can always go online, The Eagle 95.1, and push the live button and get the radio performance. I go on about 6:40, 6:45. And then also online, you can catch at potbean.com, the game, of course. The rest of the show, for 1 hour, we top on subjects that you give a good hoot about here. Scott Nason, Dave McKay, Katie, and E.J. Russell, who was ill next week. I'm quite sure he'll be well done if Cleveland wins tonight. They're all on the game. That's Monday, 6 o'clock, the 8th. First hour on radio, second hour online. Hey, also catch all the stuff that's going on here. Catch me on Simply Butch 2 at popbean.com. TOO, not no number 2. And also at, or you can also do it at Podomatic.com. SimplyButch2.podomatic.com. Okay? Just do it for me, boys and girls. Hey, I'm out of here. I'm confused. Hey, have a great weekend.